Bracha and Shalom on the Sabbath day for the second time on this date. And this date is the 5th day of the 13th month, Adar 2 of 5779. Okay, and today is the 14th day of March 2020 of the year 2020. And we're going to start right in on the expository teaching, 2 Samuel, part 1. Okay, we're going to start out in chapter 1. We're going to go for close to an hour, and we'll see how much we get done. But at the end of the video, don't forget to go down and hit subscribe, okay, on the YouTube page. We need to increase our subscriber base, and don't forget to like the video on YouTube as well. So if you're watching this live, the button won't be there. You need to go to the YouTube page of the Philadelphia Assemblies, okay, and subscribe. Again, today is the 5th day of the 13th month of the year 5779, 14th day of March, year 2020. So we'll open in prayer. Almighty Father Yahuwah, again we come to you and we ask that you would teach us all things. Help us to better understand your word, and Father, help these words to be yours and not mine. Give us an extra unction of the Ruach. And Father, be with all those that out there today that need comforting. Father, comfort them. Those that are ill, need healing. Father, heal them. Ask that you would just bless and be with all those that are out there in the world that are seeking you, Father, and maybe not even know that they're seeking you yet. But in any respect, Father, we ask that you would touch the hearts of many. We ask it all in your precious Son, Yahushua's name. Amen. 2 Samuel, part 1, chapter 1, verse 1. Now it came to pass after the death of Shaul, or Saul, when David was returned from the slaughter of the Amalekites, and David had abode or stayed 2 days in Ziklag. It came even to pass on the 3rd day that he was there, that behold, a man came out of the camp from Shaul with his clothes torn and earth on his face. And so it was, when he came to David, and he fell to the earth and did obeisance, or displayed humility. 3. And David said unto him, From where did you come? And he said unto him, Out of the camp of Israel I am escaped. And David said unto him, How went that matter? Or how did it go? I beg you, tell me. And he answered, That the people are fled from the battle, and many of the people also are fallen and dead. Could mean wounded and dead. And Shaul and Jonathan, his Ben, are dead also. And David said unto the young man that told him, How do you know that Shaul and Jonathan, his Ben, are dead? And the young man that told him said, As I accidentally stumbled upon Mount Gilead, behold, Shaul leaned upon his spear, and lo, the chariots and the horsemen followed hard after him. And when he looked behind him, he saw me, and called unto me, and I answered, Here I am. And he said unto me, Who are you? And I answered him, I am Amalekite. He said unto me again, Stand, I beg you, still with me, and slay me, for an anguish is come upon me, because my life is yet whole in me, or my life still lingers in me. So I stood there with him and slew him, because I was sure that he could not live after that he was fallen. And I took the crown that was upon his head, and the bracelet that was on his arm, and have brought them here unto my master. In other words, unto David. Then David took hold on his clothes and tore them, and likewise all the men that were with him. And they mourned and wept, and fasted until even for Shaul and for Jonathan his ben, or son, and for the people of Yahuwah, and for the house of Israel, because they were fallen by the sword. And David said unto the young man that told him, Where are you? And he answered, I am the ben of a stranger, an Amalekite. And David said unto him, How was you not afraid to stretch forth your hand to destroy Yahuwah's anointed? And David called one of the young men and said, Go near and fall upon him, or cut him down. And he smote him that he died, or he struck him that he died. And David said unto him, Your blood be upon your head, for your mouth hath testified against you, saying, I have slain Yahuwah's anointed. And David laminated with this lamentation over Shaul and over Jonathan his ben, or son. Also he bade them teach the ben of Yehuda the use of the bow. Behold, it is written in the book of Yashar. Okay, so here we go again. There's one of these books, the extra biblical books that aren't included in the King James, or the modern King James, Yashar. Verse 19, the beauty of Israel is slain upon your high places. How are the mighty fallen? Tell it not in Gath, publish it not in the streets of Ashkelon, lest the daughters of the Philistines rejoice, lest the daughters of the uncircumcised triumph. You mountains of Gilboa, let there be no dew, neither let there be rain upon you, nor fields of offerings, for there the shields of the mighty is vilely cast away, the shield of Shaul, as though he had not been anointed with oil. From the blood of the slain, from the fat of the mighty, the bow of Jonathan turneth not back, and the sword of Shaul returneth not empty. Shaul and Jonathan were lovely and pleasant in their lives, and in their death they were not divided. They were swifter than eagles, they were stronger than lions. You daughters of Israel, weep over Shaul, who clothed you in scarlet with other delights, who put on ornaments of gold upon your apparel. How are the mighty fallen in the midst of the battle? O Jonathan, you was slain in thine high places. I am dressed for you, my brother, Jonathan. Very pleasant hast you been unto me. Your love to me was wonderful, passing the love of women. How are the mighty fallen, and the weapons of war perished? Chapter 2. And it came to pass after this, that David inquired of Yahuwah, saying, Shall I go up into any of the cities of Yehuda? And Yahuwah said unto him, now again, we know it's the Ruach that answered, the spirit of Yahuwah, Go up. And David said, Where shall I go up? And he said, Unto Hebron. So David went there, and his two wives also, Ahinoam, the Jezreelitess, and Abigail, Nabal's wife, the Carmelite. And his men that were with him did David bring up, every man with his household or his family, and they dwelt in the cities of Hebron. And the men of Yehuda came, and there they anointed David king over the house of Yehuda. And they told David, saying, The men of Jabesh Gilead were they that buried Shaul. And David said, Malachim. This word messengers here is the same one they would translate as angels in other places. Again, David sent Malachim, or messengers, unto the men of Jabesh Gilead, and said unto them, Blessed be you of Yahuwah, that you have showed the kindness unto your master, even unto Shaul, and have buried him. And now Yahuwah show kindness and truth unto you, and I also will repay you this kindness because you have done this thing. Therefore, now let your hands be strengthened and be valiant, for your master Shaul is dead, and also the house of Yehuda have anointed me king over them. But Abner the son of Ner, captain of Shaul's host, took Ishbosheth, the ben of Shaul, and brought him over to Mahanaim, and made him king over Gilead, and over the Asherites, and over the Yezreel, and over Ephraim, and over Benjamin, and over all Israel. Ishbosheth, Shaul's son, was 40 years old when he began to reign over Israel, and reigned 2 years. But the house of Yehuda followed David. And the time that David was king in Hebron over the house of Yehuda was 7 years and 6 months. And Abner, the ben of Ner, and the servants of Ishbosheth, the ben of Shaul, went out from Mahanaim in Gibeon, and Joab, the son of Zeruiah, that's correct, and the servants of David went out and met together by the pool of Gibeon, and they sat down, the one on one side of the pool, and the other on the other side of the pool. And Abner said to Joab, let the young men now arise and play, or hold a contest before us. And Joab said, let them arise. Then there arose and went out over by number 12 of Benjamin, which pertained to Ishbosheth, the ben of Shaul, and the 12 of the servants of David. And they caught every one his fellow by the head, and thrust his sword in his fellow's side, so they fell down together, wherefore that place was called Helkath-Hazarim, which is Gibeon. And there was a very severe battle that day, and Abner was beaten, and the men of Israel before the servants of David. And there were 3 ben of Zeruiah there, Joab, and Abishai, and Ashiel. And Ashiel was as light of foot as a wild gazelle. And Ashiel pursued after Abner, and in going he turned not to the right hand nor to the left from following Abner. Then Abner looked behind him and said, are you Asriel? And he answered, I am. And Abner said to him, turn you aside to your right hand or to your left, and lay hold on one of the young men, and take you his armor. But Ariel would not turn aside from following of him. And Abner said again to Ashiel, turn you aside from following me. Therefore should I strike you to the ground? How then should I hold up my face to Joab your brother? Howbeit he refused to turn aside. Wherefore Abner, with the back end of the spear, smote him under the 5th rib, that the spear came out behind him, and he fell down there and died in the same place. And it came to pass that as many as came to the place where Ashiel fell down and died stood still. And Joab also and Abishai pursued after Abner. And the sun went down when they were come to the hill of Amah, that lies before Giah by the way of the wilderness of Gibeon. And the ben of Benjamin gathered themselves together, or they rallied, after Abner, and became one group, or one troop, or they became unified, and stood on the top of a hill. And Abner called to Joab and said, shall the sword devour forever? No, do you know that it will be bitterness in the latter end? How long shall it be then? before you bid the people return from following their brethren. And Joab said, As Elohim lives, unless thou hadst spoken, surely then in the morning the people had gone up, every one from following his brother. So Joab blew a trumpet, and all the people stood still, and pursued after Israel no more, neither fought they any more. And Abner and his men walked all that night through the plain, and passed over Jordan, and went through all Bithron, and they came to Mahanaim. And Joab returned from following Abner, and when he had gathered all the people together, there lacked of David's servants 19 men, and Ashiel, but the servants of David had smitten of Benjamin. Okay, so they had struck down of the men of Benjamin and of Abner's men, so 360 or 360 men died. And they took up Ashiel and buried him in the tomb of his father, which was in Bethlehem. And Joab and his men went all night, and they came to Hebron at break of day. Chapter 3. Now there was long war between the house of Shaul and the house of David, but David grew stronger and stronger, and the house of Shaul became weaker and weaker. And unto David were Ben born in Hebron, and his firstborn was Amon, and Ahinoam the Jezreelitess, and his second Chileab, and Abigail the wife of Nabal the Carmelite, and the third Absalom the ben of Maachah, the daughter of Tilmai, king of Gershur. I have a lot of problem with some of these names, pronouncing them, and I know I'm not doing them quite correctly. 4. And the fourth, Adonijah, the son of Haggith, and the fifth, Shephatiah, the son of Abital, and the sixth, Ithream, by Eglah, David's wife. These were born to David in Hebron. And it came to pass, while there was war between the house of Shaul and the house of David, that Abner made himself strong for the house of Shaul. And Shaul had a concubine whose name was Rizpah, the daughter of Ai. And Ishbosheth said to Abner, Wherefore have you gone into my father's concubine? Then was Abner very angry for the words of Ishbosheth, and said, Am I a dog's head, which against Yehuda do show kindness this day unto the house of Shaul your father, to his brethren and to his friends, and have not delivered you into the hand of David, that you charge me today with a fault concerning this woman? So do Elohim to Abner, and more also, except as Yahuwah has sworn to David, even so do I to him, to transfer the kingdom from the house of Shaul, and to set up the throne of David over Israel and over Yehuda, from Dan even unto Beersheba. And he could not answer Abner a word again, because he feared him. And Abner sent malachim, again, or messengers. See, it's important to understand that the Hebrew word for messengers is malach. For messenger is malach, and messengers is malachim, because they misuse this so often. It always means the same thing, and sometimes they translate it angel, and sometimes it's fitting, and sometimes it's not. Okay? To David on his behalf, saying, Who is this land? Whose land is this? Saying also, Make an agreement with me, and behold, my hand shall be with you to bring about all Israel into you. And he said, Well, I will make an an agreement with you, but one thing I require of you, that is, you shall not see my face, except you first bring Michal, Shaul's daughter, when you come to see my face. And David sent Malachim, again, messengers, to Ishbosheth, Shaul's son, saying, deliver me my wife Michal, which I engaged to me for 100 foreskin of the Philistines. If you remember the deal I read in 1 Samuel. And Ishbosheth set and took her from her husband, even from Philatiel, the son of Laish, and her husband went with her, along crying behind her to Bahurim. Then said Abner unto him, go return, and he returned. And Abner had communication with the elders of Israel, saying, you sought for David, or David, in times past to be king over you. Now then, do it, for Yahuwah has spoken of David, saying, by my hand of my servant David, I will save my people Israel out of the hand of the Philistines and out of the hand of all their enemies. So that was the word of Yahuwah, and he was just, again, being a malachim and carrying that message. And Abner also spake in the ears of Benjamin, and Abner went also to speak in the ears of David in Hebron all that seemed good to Israel, and that seemed good to the whole house of Benjamin. So Abner came to David to Hebron, and 20 men with him. And David made Abner and the men that were with him a feast. And Abner said unto David, I will arise and go, and will gather all Israel unto my master the king, David is who they're talking about, that they make an agreement with you, and that you may reign over all that your heart desires. And David sent Abner away, and he went in peace. And behold, the servants of David and Joab came from pursuing a troop, and brought in a great plunder or spoil with them. But Abner was not with David in Hebron, for he had sent him away, and he was gone in peace. When Joab and all the host that was with him were come, they told Joab, saying, Abner, the son of Ner, came to the king, and he has sent him away, and he is gone in peace. Then Joab came to the king and said, what have you done? Behold, Abner came unto you. Why is it that you have sent him away, and he is quite gone? You know Abner the Ben of Ner, that he came to deceive you, and to know you're going out and you're coming in, and to know all that you do. And when Joab was gone out from David, he sent Malachim, or messengers, after Abner, which brought him again from the well of Sirah, but David didn't know it. And when Abner was returned to Hebron, Joab took him aside in the gate to speak with him privately. And he struck him there under the fifth rib, that he died, for the blood of Asahel his brother. And afterward, when David heard it, he said, I and my kingdom are innocent before Yahuwah, forever from the blood of Abner the son of Ner. Let it least on the head of Joab and on all his father's family, and let there not fail from the house of Joab one that hath an issue, or that is a leper, or that leaneth on a staff, or that falleth on the sword, or that lacketh bread. So he was speaking a curse. So Joab and Abshua, his brother, slew Abner, because he had slain their brother Asahel at Gibeon in the battle. And David said unto Joab, and to all the people that were with him, tear your clothes and gird you with sackcloth and mourn before Abner. And King David himself followed the casket. And they buried Abner in Hebron, and the king lifted up his voice and wept at the grave of Abner, and all the people wept. And the king lamented over Abner and said, Died Abner as a fool dies, that your hands were not bound, nor your feet put into chains, as a man falls before wicked men. So fell you. And all the people cried again over him. And when all the people came to cause David to eat food, while it was yet day, David sware, saying, So do Elohim to me, and more also if I taste bread or anything else till the sun be down. And all the people took notice of it, and it pleased them. So whatever the king did pleased all the people. For all the people and all Israel understood that the day it was of the king to slay Abner the son of Ner. And the king said unto his servants, Know you not that there is a prince and a great man fallen this day in Israel? And I am this day weak, though anointed king, and those men and the Ben of Zeriah be too hard or too harsh for me. Yahuwah shall reward the doer of evil according to his wickedness. So, according as you have done, you will reap. So as you reap, so as you sow, so shall you reap. Basically, chapter 4. And when Shaul's Ben heard that Abner was dead in Hebron, his hands were feeble, and all the Israelites were troubled. And Shaul's Ben had 2 men that were captains of military units. The name of the one was Baanah, and the name of the other was Rechab. And the Ben of Rimmon, a Beerothrite, of the Ben of Benjamin, for Beeroth also was considered part of Benjamin. And the Beerothites fled to Gittim and were non-citizens there unto this day. And that was all added. Okay. And Jonathan, Shaul's son, had a Ben that was lame of his feet. He was 5 years old when the tidings came of Shaul and Jonathan out of Jezreel, and his nurse took him up and fled. And it came to pass, as she made haste to flee, that he fell and became lame. And his name was Mephibosheth, the Ben of Rimmon, the Beerothite. Rechab and Baanah went and came about the heat of the day, or so around 1 in the afternoon, to the house of Ishbosheth, who lay on a bed at noon. So I guess it was more around noontime. And they came there and to the midst of the house, as though they would have brought wheat, and they struck him under the 5th rib, and Rechab and Baanah his brother escaped. For when they came into the house, he lay on his bed in his bedchamber, or in his bedroom, and they smote him and slew him and beheaded him, and took his head and got them away through the plain all night. And they brought the head of Ishbosheth unto David to Hebron, and said to the king, Behold the head of Ishbosheth, the son of Shaul, thine enemy, which sought your life, and Yahuwah hath avenged my master, the king, this day of Shaul and his seed, or his descendants. And David answered Rechab and Baanah his brother, the Ben of Rimmon, the Beerothite, and said unto them, As Yahuwah lives, who hath redeemed my life out of all adversaries. When one told me, saying, Behold, Shaul is dead, thinking to have brought good tidings, I took hold of him and slew him in Ziklag, who thought that I would have given him a reward for his tidings, or for his deeds. How much more when wicked men have slain a righteous person in his own house upon his bed, shall I not therefore now require his blood on your hand and take you away from the earth? And David commanded his young men, and they slew them, and cut off their hands and their feet, and hanged them up over the pool in Hebron. But they took a head of Ishbosheth and buried it in the tomb of Abner in Hebron. Chapter 5. Then came all the tribes of Israel to David unto Hebron, and spake, saying, Behold, we are your bone and your flesh. Also in time past, when Shaul was king over us, you were he that led out the broadest in Israel. And Yahuwah said to you, Thou shalt feed my people of his people Israel, and you shall be captain over Israel. So all the elders of Israel came to the king to Hebron, and King David made an agreement with them in Hebron before Yahuwah, and they anointed David king over all Israel. David was 30 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 40 years in Hebron. He reigned over Yehudah 7 years and 6 months, and in Jerusalem he reigned 33 years over all Israel and Yehudah. And the king and his men went to Jerusalem unto the Jebusites, the inhabitants of the land, which spake unto David, saying, Except you take away the blind and the lame, thou shalt not come in here, thinking David cannot come in there. Nevertheless, David took the stronghold of Zion, the same is the city of David. And David said on that day, Whosoever gets up to the gutter, or whosoever goes through the water tunnel, and smites the Jebusites, and the lame and the blind that are hated of David's life, he shall be chief and captain. Therefore they said, The blind and the lame shall not come into the house. So David dwelt in the fort, and called it the city of David. And David built round about them from Milo and inward. And David went on and grew great, and Yahuwah Elohim of the multitudes was with him. And Hiram, king of Tyre, sent messengers, or malachim, to David, and cedar trees, and carpenters, and masons, and they built David an house. And David perceived, or David realized, that Yahuwah had established him king over Israel, and that he had exalted his kingdom for his people Israel's sake. And David took him more concubines and wives out of Jerusalem after he was come from Hebron, and there went yet bens and daughters born to David. And these be the names of those that were born unto him in Jerusalem. Here we go. Shammai, and Shobab, and Nathan, and Solomon, and Ibhar, also Elishua, and Nepheg, and Yaphiah, and Elishama, and Elida, and Eliphalet. But when the Philistines heard that they had anointed David king over Israel, all the Philistines came up to search for David, or David, and David heard of it and went down to the stronghold. And the Philistines also came and spread themselves in the valley of Rephaim. And David inquired of Yahuwah, saying, Shall I go up to the Philistines? Wilt you deliver them into my hand? And Yahuwah said unto David, Go up, for I will doubtless deliver the Philistines unto your hand. And David came to Perazim, And Dawood smote them there, or struck them there, and said, Yahuwah hath broken forth upon my enemies before me as the breach of waters. So therefore he's giving credit to Yahuwah and not taking it for himself. Therefore he called the name of the place Bel-Perazim. Bel-Perazim. And there they left their images or idols. We know Baal-Peor, Baal meaning master or Lord. Okay, and there they left their images or idols, and Dawood and his men burned them. And in actuality, that probably should have been translated, carried them away, instead of burned them. And the Philistines came up yet again and spread themselves in the valley of Rephaim. And when Dawood inquired of Yahuwah, he said, and this is, thus saith Yahuwah here now, you shall not go up, but surround or circle around behind them. That's how it should have been translated. And circle around behind them and come upon them over against the mulberry trees. And let it be, when you hear the sound of marching in the tops of the mulberry trees, and they're saying here that should have been translated balsam trees, that then you shall bestir yourself, for then shall Yahuwah go out before you to smite the host or the army of the Philistines. And Dawood did so as Yahuwah had commanded him, and smote the Philistines from Gibeah until you came to Gezer. Chapter 6. Again Dawood gathered together all the chosen men of Israel, 30,000. And Dawood arose and went with all the people that were with him from Baal of Yehuda to bring up from there the ark of Elohim, or the ark of the covenant, whose name is called by the name of Yahuwah of the multitudes, that dwells between the cherubims. And they set the ark of Elohim upon a new cart and brought it out of the house of Abinadab, and that was in Gibeah. And Uzziah and Aho, the ben of Abinadab, drove the new cart, or pulled the new cart, and they brought it out of the house of Abinadab, which was the Gibeah, was accompanied by them of Gibeah, the ark of Elohim, and Ahio went before the ark, led the ark. And Dawood and all the house of Israel marched before Yahuwah on all manner of instruments, or played before Yahuwah on all manner of instruments made of fir wood, even on harps and psalteries, and on timbrels, and on cornets, and on cymbals. And when they came to Nachon's threshing floor, Uzzah put forth his hand to the ark of Elohim and took hold of it, for the oxen nearly upset it. And the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against Uzziah, and Elohim smote him there for his error. And there he died by the ark of Elohim. And Dawood was displeased because Yahuwah had made a violent outburst upon Uzziah, and he called the name of the place Pezrizah to this day. And Dawood was afraid of Yahuwah that day, and said, how shall the ark of Yahuwah come to me? So Dawood would not take the ark of Yahuwah unto him, unto the citadel of Dawood, or the city of Dawood, but Dawood carried it outside into the house of Obededom the Gittite. And the ark of Yahuwah continued in the house of Obadiah the Gittite 3 months, and Yahuwah blessed Obadiah and all his house. And it was told King David, saying, Yahuwah hath blessed the house of Obadiah and all that pertain unto him because of the ark of Elohim. So David went and brought up the ark of Elohim from the house of Obadiah unto the city of David with gladness. And it was so. And that when they that bear the ark of Yahuwah had gone 6 places, he sacrificed oxen and fatlings. And verse 14. And David danced before Yahuwah with all his might. And David was girded with a linen ephod, or priestly garment, even though he's from the house of tribe of Judah or Yehudah. So David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of Yahuwah with shouting and with the sound of the trumpet. And as the ark of Yahuwah came into the city of David, Michal, Shaul's daughter, looked through a window and saw King David leaping and dancing before Yahuwah. And she despised him in her heart. And they brought in the ark of Yahuwah and set it in his place, and in the midst of the tabernacle that David had pitched for it. And David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before Yahuwah. And as soon as David had made an end of offering burnt offerings and peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of Yahuwah of the multitudes. And he dwelt among the people, even among the whole multitude of Israel, as well to the women as men. To every one a cake of bread, again that would be an unleavened cake, and a good piece of flesh, and a flagon of wine. So all the people departed, every one to his house. 20. Then David returned to bless, or Barak, his household, and Michal, the daughter of Shaul, came out to meet David and said, How glorious was the king of Israel today, who uncovered himself today in the eyes of the handmaidens of his servants, as one of his vulgar fellows, shamelessly uncovered himself. And David said unto Michal, It was before Yahuwah, which chose me before your father and before all his house, to appoint me ruler over the people of Yahuwah, over Israel. Therefore will I play, or will I celebrate before Yahuwah? And I will yet be more vile than this, and will be base in mine own sight, and of the maidservants which you have spoken of them shall I be had in honor. Therefore Michal, the daughter of Shaul, had no child until the day of her death. Okay, chapter 7. And it came to pass, when the king sat in his house, and Yahuwah had given him rest round about from all his enemies, that the king said unto Nathan the prophet, See now, I dwell in a house of cedar, but the ark of Elohim dwells within curtains, or within a tent. And Nathan said to the king, Go do all that is in your heart, for Yahuwah is with you. And it came to pass that night that the word of Yahuwah came unto Nathan, saying, Go and tell my servant David this. Thus saith Yahuwah, Shall you build me a house for me to dwell in, whereas I have not dwelt in any house since the time that I brought up the Ben, or the sons of Israel, out of Egypt, even to this day, but have walked or traveled in a tent and in a tabernacle? In all the places wherein I have walked, or I have traveled, with all the Ben of Israel, spake I a word with any of the tribes of Israel, whom I commanded to feed my people of Israel, saying, Why build you not me a house of cedar? Have I said that? That's what he's saying. He had not. Now therefore, so shall you say unto my servant David, Thus saith Yahuwah of the multitudes, I took you from the sheepcote, or from the pasture, from following the sheep, to be ruler over my people, over Israel. And I was with you wherever you went, and have cut off all your enemies out of your sight, and have made you great, made your name great, like unto the name of the great men that are in the earth. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and will plant, or will permanently put them, that they may dwell in a place of their own, obviously talking about the whole kingdom of Israel, and move no more, neither shall the bin of wickedness afflict them any more as before. And as since the time that I commanded judges to be over my people Israel, and have caused you to rest from all your enemies, also Yahuwah tells you that he will make you a family lineage. Okay, in other words, it's not talking about a physical house, it's talking about a family lineage. And when your days be fulfilled, and you shall sleep with your fathers, will set up your descendants after you, which shall proceed out of your bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. He shall build a house of my name, obviously talking about Solomon here, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be his father, and he shall be my son, little s. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men, and with the stripes of the bin of men, or the sons of men. But my mercy shall not depart away from him, as I took it from Shaul, whom I put away before you. Your throne shall be established forever. Talking about King David's throne through Solomon, and then later through our Messiah. Verse 17. Which is called Son of David. 17, according to all these words, and according to all this vision, so did Nathan speak unto David. Then went King David in, and sat before Yahuwah, and he said, Who am I, O Yahuwah Elohim? And what is my house, or my family lineage, that you has brought me this far? And this was yet a small thing in your sight, O Yahuwah Elohim. But you have spoken also of your servant's house or family for a great while to come. And is this the manner or the custom of man, O Yahuwah Elohim? And what can David say more unto you? For you, Yahuwah Elohim, know your servant. For your word's sake, and according to thine own heart, hast you done all these great things to make your servant know them? Therefore you are great, O Yahuwah Elohim, for there is none like you. Neither is there any Elohim beside you. Okay? You, according two pages sticking together, to all that were held with our ears, and what the nation in the earth is like. Your people, even like Israel, whom Elohim went to redeem for a people to himself, and to make him a name, and to do for you great things and amazing for your land before your people, which you redeemest to you from Egypt, from the nations, and from their Elohim, from their gods, from their Elohim. For you has confirmed, or you have established to yourself your people Israel to be a people unto you forever, and you, Yahuwah, art become their Elohim. And now, O Yahuwah Elohim, the word that you have spoken concerning your servant and concerning his family, established it forever, and do as you have said. and let your name be magnified forever, saying, Yahuwah of the multitudes is Elohim over Israel. And let the house of your servant David be established before you. For you, O Yahuwah for you, O Yahuwah of the multitudes, Elohim of Israel, has revealed to your servant, saying, I will build you a family line, okay, not a physical house. Therefore has your servant David, your servant, found in his heart to pray this prayer unto you. Verse 28, and now, O Yahuwah Elohim, you art that Elohim, and your words be true, and you has promised this goodness unto your servant. Therefore, now let it please you to bless the house of your servant, or the family of your servant, that it may continue forever before you, for you, O Yahuwah Elohim, has spoken it. And with your blessings, let the house or the family of your servant be blessed forever. The descendants, okay? Chapter 8. Short chapter here. We're going to finish it, and it'll do it. And after this, it came to pass that David attacked or defeated the Philistines and subdued them. And David took Gathamaah out of the hand of the Philistines and struck Moab and measured them with a line, making them lie down on the ground. Even with the 2 lines measured he to put to death, and with 1 full line to keep alive. And so the Moabites became David's servants and brought gifts. David struck also Hadadezer, the Ben of or son of Rehob, king of Zobah, as he went to recover his territory at the river Euphrates. And David took from him 1,000 chariots and 700 horsemen and 20,000 footmen. And David hamstrung all the chariot horses, but reserved of them for 100 saved from them 100 chariots. And when the Syrians of Damascus came to help Hadadezer, king of Zobah, David slew the Syrians 22,000 men, or 22,000 men. Then David put garrisons in Syria of Damascus, and the Syrians became servants to David, and brought gifts, and Yahuwah preserved David wherever he went. And David took the shields of gold that were on the servants of Hadazel, and brought them to Jerusalem, and from Betah, and from Bereitha, cities of Hadazer, King David took very much brass or bronze. He took a whole lot of bronze. Verse 9, when Toi, king of Hamath, heard that David had smitten all the host of Hadazer, then Toi sent Joram, his Ben or son, unto King David to greet him and to bless him, because he had fought against Hadadezer, get that right, and smitten him, for Hadadezer had wars with Toi. And Joram brought with him vessels of silver and vessels of gold and vessels of bronze, which also King David did dedicate unto Yahuwah with the silver and gold, and he dedicated of all nations which he subdued, of Syria and of Moab and of the Ben of Ammon and of the Philistines and of Amalek and of the spoil of Hadadezer, the son of Rehob, king of Zobah. 13. And David got him a name when he returned from smiting or killing the Syrians in the valley of Salt, being 18,000 men. And he put garrisons in Edom, Throughout all Edom put he garrisons, and all they of Edom became Dawood's servants, and Yahuwah preserved Dawood wherever he went. And Dawood reigned over all Israel, and Dawood administered judgment and justice unto all his people. And Joab, the ben of Zeruiah, was over the host, and Jehoshaphat, the ben of Ahilud, was recorder. And Zodak, the son of Ahitub, and Ahimelech, the son of Abariah, were the priest. See, that's where later on we'll talk about the Zodakite priesthood. It comes from Zodok. Okay? And Sariah was the scribe. And Benaniah, the son of Jehoiada, was over both the Kersherites and the Pelethites, and Dawood's ben, or sons, were chief rulers. So we're going to stop right there. That's about 15. We'll pick it up next time on chapter 9. And don't forget, if you're not on YouTube watching this, go to Philadelphia Assemblies at YouTube and subscribe and hit the bell if you want to get alerts when the new videos come out. May Yahuwah bless until we meet again.